Hello. So what you see here is a game that I tried to make called Dark Ninja, an adventure game where you pretty much are given different objectives depending on what levels you choose. And the objectives range from getting to the goal, helping a child find their parents, defeating monsters, or defeating the boss, or however. And I worked on it for about 2 years, I want to say, but due to the limitations that I found with the game engine that I used, I had to stop. But I don't plan on abandoning the project. I plan on returning to it in a different game engine. So, right here is a gameplay footage of Dark Ninja, at least some of it. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, the recorder that I use, OBS, did not record the sound, only the video. So this whole playthrough is going to be silent, and it's just going to be my voice explaining what is going on throughout this whole thing. So the whole premise of this level in particular is to get to the end, which contains an item called the Sunstone, which is this game's version of Goal Pull in Mario. And in this level, there is a type of enemy called the Oni. And they don't really have any special abilities, but the Oni come in 3 monsters. Well, specific enemies, not monsters, they're all monsters, but specific enemies. There's the Brute, the Tackler, and the other one I forgot. I think it's called the Charger or Chaser, I forgot its name. But anyways, the Brute pretty much acts like a normal enemy. It's either jumps towards you or runs at you, and dealing damage every time it touches you. The Tackler is immune to all damage and will charge at you, and if it misses, it's going to get stunned. And only when he's stunned will he hurt you. As for the Charger, Chaser, or however it's named, it's going to shoot projectiles at you, but other than that, it's fairly weak. And it doesn't hurt you if you touch it. Now, you may have noticed that some of those enemies are colored differently. When a Brute is colored more blue, that means that when it dies, it drops ammo for you. And when a Chaser, or Charger, however it's called, is more red than purple, that means it's going to drop an energy star when it dies. So there are 3 main attacks that players can use in Dark Ninja. There's the melee attack, the ranged attack, and the heavy attack. The melee attack you can use at any point. The ranged attack can only be used if you have ammo, and the heavy attack can only be used when you have energy. To get energy, you need energy stars from the red chasers. So the heavy attacks deal more damage. For some enemies, it instantly kills them, while others, it just deals massive damage. Throughout this playthrough, you're going to see me using the heavy attacks. Now, in this level in particular, there's a rare chance that a mini-boss would spawn towards the end of the level. But as you can see in the recording, I did not get the mini-boss. So when you reach the end of the level, you will get a summary of all the achievements you got, from collecting emeralds to soul gems and the amount of enemies you've defeated. Now the soul gems, I think you've seen in the video a bit. The soul gems, when you kill an enemy, there's a rare chance that they'll drop a soul gem. And then the gem's going to shatter into 10 souls. And you need to collect all 10 souls in 10 seconds. And if you manage to do this, the soul gem is yours. So emeralds, they would serve the purpose of allowing you to buy items, because as you can see at the bottom of the game screen, there's an inventory. And you can buy items with those emeralds. And the soul gems are going to be upgrades for your character. Now, when I was recording this footage, there was only one character available to play as called Dark Ninja, but there would have been other characters like Ice Bard, Electric Man, Poison Pirate, Blast Valkyrie, Nature Guardian, and Undead Queen. Those would have been the heroes that you could play as in the game. And each hero has their own abilities, like how much health they have, what their melee and ranged attacks are like, what their heavy attacks are like. And you would unlock these heroes as you play the game. So here is a boss. Now, for this boss in particular, he has two different attacks. One where he jumps at you from below, and when he lands on the ground, he's stunned and you can hurt him. And the second, when he appears above you and starts shooting webs. Each web spawns a chaser, and the golden web, you have to hit it to knock it back at the boss, making him fall down. And when he gets below, I want to say, 1/3 of health, he will get enraged. His attacks will become faster, and he will be less likely to make mistakes. And when he reaches even more below, he'll get even more enraged. So basically, the goal is for the boss fight to get a little bit harder as it goes on. Needless to say, the way that I made this boss, I'm not 100% satisfied with how he is, but then again, I've stopped working on this game because of problems with the game engine. So when I start working on it again later on in the future in a different game engine, hopefully it will be better. Now this is another boss, but it's a little bit buggy. This one, you will summon enemies called fiends. You have to defeat the fiends in order to get them to knock the boss over. And once you do that, the boss is going to charge at you, destroy all the cars. You have to jump on the SWAT van to avoid him. And then later on, for the next two attacks, he's going to be spitting car tires at you. Now, this boss fight somehow got bugged. As you can see, everything just goes blank for some reason. One last thing I wanted to show was the Rush game mode, which is where multiple enemies will spawn in waves, and you have to defeat every enemy in each wave in order to progress to the next. And the final wave contains a mini-boss. In this case, the mini-boss is the Manticore. I'm gonna let the whole thing play out for you. So, since you guys can't hear anything from the game, I'm gonna play a couple of soundtracks that will play for the game. And you might have heard them in my previous Minecraft video and in my upcoming video. So yeah, that is Dark Ninja so far. So the game engine that I used is called Flowlab. It's really good, especially for beginners, but if you want to make an ambitious project, it might not be the best, especially since it runs on a website instead of an actual software. So that's the problem with Dark Ninja. It's too ambitious for Flowlab. But still, I really enjoyed Flowlab, and I think I made really good progress with what I was given here. So if you ever want to be a game developer, I would recommend starting with Flowlab. You don't need to learn how to code yet. So it's a pretty good starting point. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.